Give us a second, guys. We are having some trouble connection. Give us a minute. Because I'm playing a slide. Got some music on. So we'll start. Welcome, friends, to our 72nd episode. I don't know why I said 62nd. So how are you guys doing? I hope you guys are fine. We just go straight to our opening hymn, 606, Once to Every Man and Nation.
Once to every man and nation, once a moment to decide, we must strive to recall to Lord and Lord, keep aside some great cause of you, Messiah, offering its bloom of light, and the choice ones by forever twisted darkness and the light. Into side way to this noble, when we share the wretched cross, her thoughts we faith and profit, and His cross to be cast. Then is the great man who says, while the power stands aside, till the multitude make virtue of the faith denied. Lord, that also we will prosper, yet His rule alone is strong. No other portion be the scaffold, and no upon the throne belong. Yet death's trouble shares the future, and divine guiding unknown, sing that godly in the shadow, keep
Yeah, perfect. So let's just oops. Oh, hold on 1 minute, one little minute here. I'm going to send my friend the link to this video. Give us a minute. Guys, I'm just going to just go straight to the opening prayer. Let's pray, everyone. Ooh. Our Father, which art in heaven, thank you that you have blessed us again with another Sabbath day, another time to come together to worship you. Please help us to always understand what it means to be healthy. In Jesus' name, amen. You're saying, Joel, are you continuing with yesterday's topic? And I'm not. I'm going to be preaching from my little green book. In case you want a picture, then here is it. I'm sorry for this thing here because I use this thing here so I can mark the page where I'm supposed to end. I'm gonna end right there. So 1 minute, guys. I will do something. I forgot something. Give us 2 seconds. I should be ready. I got to launch Gmail. So yeah, the link to buy this book is in the description below. We are not done buying it right now, but you can buy it as soon as sunset is over. As soon as sunset. Also, this is the book. It's called. I hope you guys can see. This is the book. The brother of John Harvey Kellogg from the Kellogg Cornflakes Company. Yep, that is the book. That's his brother. Merritt Kellogg. So, oops. I forgot to send the link. Come on. So, you guys, I'm going to give you another book. The Hygenic Family Physician. A good book. It tells you a lot of great stuff that you can be hearing in the book today. Sorry with my jacket, because it's real cold today. It's like -5, -7 this morning. It's real cold today, so I'm really sorry. I might be looking real weird, but this thing. Yep. It was a good jacket. Anyways. To free up to make some space, my watermark comes in the first. So this book, I will be preaching from this book. It's called The Hygenic Family Physician. You're going to go all the way we're going to cover a lot of part 1 up to hot drinks, up to page 13. So we will better start now, because by the time we finish the sermon, it will be at midnight if I don't start right now. So let's go to the first slide. We must have air. Now, hey, Sister Rachel, how are you? You got on. Okay. That's great. So, the first thing I want to cover in today's topic, we'll go through many sections. Air, light, water, food, number of meals, the kind of food, fats and oils, manner of eating, food for infants, food for adults, and hot drinks. We're going to cover all those. Now, air. So, air is the most important thing in the world. Imagine a world without air. Now, let's talk about breathing. How are we supposed to breathe? A lot of people might be breathing the wrong way, including me. So, how are we supposed to breathe? Breathe through our nose or through our mouth? Our noses, which I always forget to do when I'm sleeping at night. So I remember that there's a breathing exercise. How is it like? How is it like a breathing exercise? Okay, let's do breathing exercises. Everybody, please rise. Yeah. Okay, put your hands in your stomach like this. Okay, I need to make myself in full screen so you can see me. Like this. Now breathe in. I'm not gonna do it. Breathe in. Breathe. Through your nose. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, everybody, what happens when you breathe out? When you breathe out, does your stomach go in or out? Does your stomach go in or out when you breathe in? Goes out. You? Doesn't move. Well, but when you breathe in, the stomach should go in, and when you breathe out, the stomach should go out. Why? Balloons. When you blow the balloon, does the balloon shrink or expand? Expands. So if your stomach goes in when you breathe, there means a problem. Look. Our stomachs must always go in. When our stomach must always go in when we breathe in, but it must go out when we breathe in. So now that's why we must have lots of plants in the homes. And when your plants are dead, should we keep dead plants in the home, dead vegetables? Should we breathe in decayed vegetables? No. That's why if you have any dead plants in your home, check your plant soils and never make compost in your home. What is compost? What is a compost? Something that is rotten. Should we keep them in our home? And we shouldn't put them in our backyard too. Because we should open the windows. We must put them far away. Not in our houses and not in our backyards either. It says, for this reason, every person, whether in health or in disease, should be located where he will not inhale the noxious gases that are thrown off by decaying vegetables or animal substances. Noxious gases. We're talking about fresh air, not the air that you get from decayed vegetables. If there are any of your plants at home which is decaying, I suggest you toss it out. You must not keep any decayed plants in your home. And what are the signs of plants decaying? Wilting leaves, yellow leaves. And we shouldn't put like, now it's like after holidays, we will have tons of Christmas trees. We shouldn't pluck the leaves and put it on our plants in the house because the leaves will rot, and it's not good for us to breathe in the rot. It says that we shouldn't breathe in the gases that are thrown off by decaying vegetables. If decaying vegetables have gases, that means if we live near the highway, we also have gases. It's best never to live not next to the main street. Live inside. Not at the main street, inside a bit. And never live next to train tracks Why not next to train tracks? Number one, it disturbs your sleep. Number two, there are still freight trains. You know the freight trains. They have gas. A lot of if you rode like Amtrak, some Amtrak, some Amtraks, right? They have those the Genesis Amtraks have no, I'm not talking about electric ones, but the diesel power trains. Those diesel trains. Once a diesel train comes by, do you stand there and watch? No, go. You must go until you don't smell, which is about 100 feet away. And we shouldn't be living next to train tracks. Why? Because when a train horns at night, which they shouldn't do, if they happen to horn in the middle of the night, what happens? It gives you a nightmare. It disturbs your brain waves. And also another problem is that another problem there is there are many problems why we should live near train tracks. Because train tracks, the trains, they have the smell, right? The smell is very toxic. It's just the same as living by and living next to a highway when the truck comes by. Because the trains, the trucks, what kind of gasoline do they use? Diesel. Diesel? Does anybody pump diesel into their cars? No. Why don't we pump diesel into our cars? Why? Damages the car engine. It's not good for the car. If it's not good for the car, it is even worse for you. And one of the worst places to live is next to the train track, main street, and the highways. Why is it bad to live next to the highways? Car passing by disturbs your brains, your sleep, and everybody must open your windows, and you open your windows. What comes in? Dirty, smelly air. We shouldn't live next to those places. But if you live in the country, what? It is great because then you having a lot of trees around you, then you have fresh air. Okay, how about decaying animal substances? Well, if anybody has a dead pet, what do? Don't keep it at home. Toss it out. If you have a dead pet fish, what do? You don't keep it, throw it out or flush it out through the toilet because it's going to everything because of dead fish. Have you ever wondered why the dead fish, when they die, they go they turn over upside down? It's because the bacteria inside the fish eat some parts and make them stay afloat, then they sink. And the bacteria, you're breathing in the bacteria, is that good? No. And we shouldn't be eating meat. Because the meat could go right in your freezer, and then you and your family is going to smell it. It says we shouldn't breathe in. Anybody, whether they're healthy or they're not healthy, should be located where he will not inhale the noxious gases that are thrown off by decaying vegetable or animal substances, nor those that arise from the chemical combinations of minerals, and he should always see that his living and sleeping rooms are well ventilated both day and night. Look, should you open your windows when you sleep at night? Yes, if you say no, then you're on the wrong side. Open your windows when you sleep. Because when you open the windows, a lot of fresh air will come in. Next slide, light. The sun is the great source of life for all vitalized structures of creatures upon the earth. I have many plants, and I have one very big plant, which I will show you. I want to just let you take a look at it. Give us 1 second, guys. I'm trying to really just fix up a lot of stuff at one time. Look at this leaf. Do you see this one? Oh, soon I got the trovers off already. Look at this leaf. How big is it? This is actually the biggest leaf in my whole plant. Why is the leaf here so small? Why? Look, small. Why? Which leaf is closest to my window? Okay, let me just move this box away. We are doing a lot of busy stuff here. These two leaves are the biggest. This one, I'll prove it to you if you don't believe me. Gonna measure it. It's really hard to do measuring when you're carrying a camera in your hands. This one is about. Man, sorry. I want to show you. This is about 7 and about almost 8 inches. Oh, yep, that one's gonna come out soon. Oh, but I better toss those away. Yep, don't keep those. This one's about 7 inches from my last measure. I'm sorry that my camera keeps going away. And this thing won't do. Look, you guys. So do you see the example? Which plant was closest to the... Which plant was closest to the window? Which side of the plant? The one with the big leaf, right? That's how... So when people stand in the sun, they get healthy and they grow. The leaves on the other side of the plant didn't look as healthy as the one on that side of the plant. Right? Look, without its genial influences, nothing that now lives could long survive. That's why, what did God make first? Light, the sun. Not the sun, but the light. See? Then later on, he made the sun. But he made the light. Right? Because why didn't he make the animals and the plants and all those things first? Then he adds the light last. Why? Because all those living creatures need the light and the sun to survive. Does it? So that's why we now look here. The plant cannot. So wait a second. And no more vitalized structures, either vegetable or animal, could be produced. The plant cannot grow when deprived of sunlight. Place it in the dark cellar and feed it with the choicest fertilizer and water it with the best of plant drinks. Yet it deprived of sunlight. Now, everybody, I want you to do a quiz. A little test. Put it in now, take a plant in your home. Or buy a plant. Put it in a very dark area. Let's say in a box. But just control for air. Water it with the best of anything. Feed with the best fertilizers. And does it grow? No. Why not? The sunlight. That's why. Same with human beings. If we don't have the sunlight, we don't grow. And we don't need to buy vitamin D. Why no vitamin D? Because we have vitamin D from the windows, from the sunlight. A child can be raised no more successfully in the dark or in deep shade than can a vegetable. Look at those who reared in the darkened rooms and shaded streets of our crowded cities. They are puny, sickly persons. See? All these things. That's why we should always have sunlight. People are very they think their furniture, everything is more important. So a lot of people, if you ask them to open a window, they say, "Oh, I can't open the window. My carpet is going to be this. My carpets are going to be that." Why is that? Now, yesterday we spoke about. See, look here. We should see. That's why we must always have our windows open. The carpets. Think about those later. They think now don't buy too expensive carpets. So we shouldn't buy too expensive carpet because that's gonna give us a lot of trouble, right? Oops, I ran out of battery. Sorry guys, I have run out of battery. Okay. There. So now that's why always open your windows. Open your windows. Sunlight. Sunlight and pure air serve to prevent dampness and the formation of vegetable mold. The other day I wet the paper. I put it under the sunlight. It dried. Now, the sunlight dries things. So, imagine if I put that piece of paper inside a dark, gloomy, wet room. What's going to happen? Mold. If you live in a very wet, dark apartment, you better move out because dark, wet causes mold. The sunlight. We need the sunlight, everybody. Sunlight is very important. Okay. Next, water. Water. What's the most important thing? Water. As a hygienic agent, water occupies a position of great importance. Look here. What kind of water should we use? What?
Clean.
Should we use distilled water, hard water, or soft water? Soft water. Why is that? Soft water should only be used when it is possible to obtain it. None but pure soft water should be used either for purposes of bathing, drinking, or cooking. In some parts of the country, springs of soft water are to be found. So always use the soft water. Hot water is no good. If we continue to reading more, hot water should not be used either for cooking, drinking, or bathing. You shouldn't even bathe with hot water. Soft water should be used for everything. When soft water, for the reason that the hard water contains certain mineral substances that are injurious to life, such as lime, salt, magnesium, and so many other things. Okay, so now, why, if people suffer so much, a lot of people suffer from tons of disease, livers, kidney difficulties, lung complaints, bowel complaints, agues, fevers, skin diseases, rheumatism. Why? Why is this all those diseases? Because they do what? They drink hard water. If you have all those things, you should start using soft water. And what else? Also, pure water should be used. Also, soft and pure makes the best water. And now we shouldn't we cannot just go out, stick our heads out the window and drink the rainwater. Is that proper thinking? No way. Why? Look here. All water that has stood long in the open air is liable to become impure either by vegetable or animal substances falling into it. That's why when I drink water, you wonder what's this noise? What is that? A cover. I always use a cover. I'm going to show you. Oops, sorry. Look, I always... So don't say anything about me. Look, I'm always using a cover. Why do I use a cover? To cover my water. I know that does not look fancy, but, well, I want to ask you guys, what is more important, fanciness or your health? Your health. Now, a lot of people want to look fancy. What do they wear? High heels and all those, right? And perfume. Let's talk about high heels. High heels, those things you spend. What does high heels give you? Crooked toes, back pain. Does it? So, imagine trying to walk on your toes all day long. That is not good for your health. It's going to make your legs very painful at night. So people want to look fancy, but... Okay, same with water. So when you cover your water, even though you are sitting next to it, staring at it, you never know. Because what could be in your house? You never know. Let's say, if you have a dead plant in your house, they have some noxious gases that emit from that dead plant and could go to your water. And you drink it, it's not good for you. And you breathe it, it's also not good for you. So, that is why we should always keep our waters covered. Oops. So, now, man, did I just drip some water here on the book? So next slide, we're talking about food. Now, the tissues of our bodies are constantly wearing out. So everybody should eat proper foods, right? What's a proper food? Anything that, most of the foods that come from plants. I mean, not all plants. Some plants like hemp seeds, not good. It's coming from the marijuana family. So that's why we should use the proper kinds of foods. And we shouldn't be eating raw vegetables. That's what a lot of people think. How many of you heard that they say our diets must be 70 or 80% raw? Everybody has heard that, almost. That is a trick. Maybe 70 to 80% cooked makes more sense. Well, all vegetables must be cooked. I mean, crunchy vegetables. Lettuce is okay. As long as when you are healthy, then you can eat raw lettuce. But a sick person should not eat anything raw, except fruits. So, now, and also we shouldn't mix our fruits and our vegetables together. Now, the let's talk about what kind of foods we can eat raw. Only soft vegetables you can eat raw. The cruciferous family should never be eaten raw. What's the cruciferous family? Broccoli, cabbage, kale, spinach. You have spinach also. Brussels sprouts. Cruciferous family. We shouldn't eat raw. And I have a problem here. Allowed to eat foods half cooked. Now, it is my problem since I have been trained with it from very young. Quite young. And now it's kind of hard to stop it. You know, I always cannot eat foods that are overcooked. Because I'm not telling you to boil it in the pot for 1 hour. Also, we should not cook too much. We just cook like until it's tender, not overly soft, overcooked. No, that's not good for you either. Just as long as it's tender, it's good. And oats. We're not a horse, okay? Okay, let's talk more about this. About the foods. Now, why shouldn't we be eating raw? Too much stomach work and all those, you know. And of course, not too overcooked. Just cooked and tender. It's good because if you cook it overcooked, that means that you will not have too much nutrients. So just the right softness is just nice. Not too soft, but not too hard either. And any vegetable that has a crunch should be cooked. Kale, that's kale. When you chew kale or like Brussels sprouts, I also like half Brussels sprouts. I have to change that. So when you crunch them, do you hear a crunch? Okay. Can we eat raw carrots? No. Carrots must be cooked, and cabbage. Now, we shouldn't be eating too raw cabbages because they're crunchy too, right? Let's talk about food. The food we eat should contain all the elements required to build up the body. Like what? Potassium, magnesium, and what else? Protein, vitamins, minerals, all those. Okay, so calcium. Oh, I'll talk about that later. So, and proteins. What? Now people say vegetarians don't have proteins. What is a protein? Now, proteins, we get it in beans, all those, you know? And there are right kind of proteins and wrong kinds of proteins. Right kinds of proteins are like protein from beans, nuts. Wrong kinds, and seeds, yes. Wrong kinds of proteins are like what? Proteins from too much oil. A little bit of oil is okay, but not too much. Proteins from too much oil, like French fries, is not good at all for you. Too much oil, and anyways, oil should never be fried. So too much oil, meat, seafood, wrong kinds of proteins. But we should eat from the right kinds. And the wrong kinds. So, okay, now let's talk more about magnesium. When people have how do people need what needs magnesium? Muscle problems, muscle pulling, muscle pain, back pains, and Charlie horse. Sprains, anything that has problems to do with the muscles, like you sprain your back, you sprain your ankle, you sprain muscles, you sprain your back, you sprain your ankle, you got Charlie horse, you get back pain, you get back pulling, all those muscle problems. What do you need? Magnesium. What has magnesium? Wait, not the store magnesium. That is not you. If you can get magnesium from your vegetables, why do you have to run off to the store? It's just what I like to call the store habit. So, what has magnesium? Dark, leafy, green vegetables, black molasses, pumpkin seeds, nuts, all those things that God makes. And just a good amount of magnesium is enough. Now, you know we shouldn't be eating like soy sauce, right? I'll tell you how you're supposed to make soy sauce. How I make my own soy sauce. I'll tell you about that. Soy sauce has what? Is it fermented? They have to ferment here, ferment there, and it becomes soy sauce. And a lot of problems. Bracts liquid aminos, even worse. Because we have chemicals in there. Even though people think, oh, it's the best. No, those are actually one of the worst that we shouldn't be using. Now, right here, I want to talk here. So now, there are some problems here. Let's see how we're supposed to make our own soy sauce. How? Do you know? Okay. You put some water in there. A little bit of water. You don't have to put it in the container. Because you put it in the container, it's gonna rot. You need to put a lot of preservatives that we don't want to eat. Whenever you want to cook with soy sauce, put some salt, a little bit of salt, not too much, just a small pinch. A little bit, like about 3 to 4 sticks of salt. Put it in there. Put some water, like maybe about, roughly about maybe 2 to 3 tablespoons of water. Maybe 4 if you want a lot. And then add in about half a spoon of black molasses. And you stir it up. It will look like soy sauce. That's the best way you can fool your guests. I'm just kidding. And I tried it before and it worked. It looked like soy sauce. And now we shouldn't buy dark soy sauce. Why? They use coloring. We heard the news. They use people's hair, They put the hair and somehow they put salt in this and sugar, and make soy sauce for you. We shouldn't use black soy sauce. You can make your own black soy sauce by adding black molasses. That's so simple. Black soy sauce is a little bit sweet, and black molasses is a little bit sweet too. That's the perfect way you can make your own black soy sauce. So, okay, let's go now. Foods, we must always eat proper foods. And now, the other day, my mom had some really bad back problems. That was like last week. So, can you guess what we did? What? Now, if you have back pulling, back pain, you don't need to go to the doctor. What do you need to do? Just eat magnesium. That's what we did. She ate like what? So much pumpkin seeds until maybe now it looks a little bit like a pumpkin. I'm just kidding. So we gave her pumpkin seeds and foods that are rich in magnesium. Kale. Magnesium. Dark leafy greens. She ate so much magnesium. And she had the worst on Tuesday. And guess what? By Thursday, no more. But just keep in mind that it will take a while. But after you heal during the day, you don't feel the pain anymore. But when you sleep, you will still feel the pain. You'll pull once in a while. But, like, the next week, gone. Totally gone. Zero. Nothing. And when you have that bad back, you shouldn't do too much exercise. Of course, you must walk. But you shouldn't exercise like tennis, all those things. Why do we get the muscle pulling? How? Okay, because of my family, I like to play badminton. Real badminton. I can almost beat anyone in badminton. Just kidding. I don't have to go to the courts and play. I just play it at home. If you have big space at home, you can play. Just use the ping pong racket and badminton. I like to play badminton. And how do you hit badminton? Jump high, right? And when you jump high, you're now putting your back in your hands. You feel the back is bending a little bit, right? Now try it. Look. You put your hands in your back and try it. You can feel the muscles moving, right? That's why sports. And how about basketball? Also, it's also all those things, right? That's why. The other day I got a Charlie horse. I think that is because like a spasm. What does Charlie horse is like a spasm on your leg? I put? I rested from playing badminton one day, and I put peppermint oil. I put peppermint oil, and by the next day I could play already. It's gone. And after I put the peppermint oil, it's like no more pain. But then it came back a little bit later. Once the peppermint oil is gone. So that's natural remedies. Now, how many number of meals should the American people eat? Should we eat? 2 to 3 meals. Actually, 2 is the best. And now I have to eat 3 meals. If not, I cannot sleep at night. So I eat breakfast at 7 o'clock. Yes, 7. You might be saying, what? Yes, I do eat at 7 o'clock. And, you must eat. And next meal, you never eat anything in between. You must wait for 5 hours. It's going to double or triple the digestion time. If you eat let's say, if you finish breakfast at 7:30, and then at 8:30, you're going to eat something snacks. Now you're going to finish your digestion. By the time you go to bed, it's still digesting your breakfast. That's why we are hurting our stomachs. I'm going to give you a story. How do you make cream? A long time ago, you got to put the milk in there. You got to keep turning around and around and around. And then it will take a long time. And then soon enough, it will become milk, right? And it will become cream. Once upon a time, in about the great grandparents or great grandparents' day, that's how cream was made. Once there was a mean old mistress, and she had a servant girl whom she would hire to make her cream. The servant girl would have in the morning, and then just as it was almost finished, the mistress came, the mean old lady came, and dumped in another bucket full of cream. And then she got to turn it again. And then she dumped in again, and the little servant girl started crying. And if you want to know who was that servant's name is called Stomach. And that could be your very own stomach, guys. If you treat your stomach like that, you say, well, your stomach can cry. But it's going to ache and ache and ache and ache until soon you will do the crying. And American people, we should eat breakfast. Okay, let's talk about breakfast and lunches and dinners.
breakfast, if you eat 2 meals, breakfast you can eat at 7 o'clock, finish at 7:30, and lunch you can eat at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Because you're not going to eat at night. But if you're eating 3 meals like me,
Hold on 1 second. Water time.
so you're eating 3 meals a day. If you eat 3 meals a day, then what do you do? Breakfast should be eaten at 7. Now, I wake up early. I cannot wake up late. If I wake up late, I'll be very upset. I wake up like every day around like 6 o'clock, 6:10. My waking time, 6:10. I should already be up. I wake up at 6:10. And I do whatever lousy stuff until 6. And then I eat breakfast at 7, and breakfast should be finished by 7:30. And what time should I eat lunch? Nope, not 10:30, not 11:30. But you should eat at 12:30. 12:30 we must finish it by 1. So dinner, you eat dinner at 6. Finish at 6:30, and you can be in bed by 8:30. That's why. But the American people sadly to say that they eat too frequently. After a child is 3 or 4 years of age, it should not be allowed to eat more than 3 times in 24 hours. People say that's called cruelty, but that's not cruelty. It might seem a bit cruel, but no, that's not. It is helping your child to grow up to be healthy and happy. Now, of course, you shouldn't make that change like if you're eating like, I'm going to count snacks, like 10 meals a day, including snacks, then you should slowly, if you suddenly do a big change like that, your stomach is going to be very upset. You must slowly give up slowly, and soon you must turn to 3 or 2, the best. Look here. But if a person is sick and only can take a little bit of nutrients at a time, then of course, then there you have no choice. If it's healthy, you must follow the correct rules of health. And we should not be eating. People give an excuse that they are hungry, they need to eat something. Yeah, that is just an excuse. It's not a real thing. It's just an excuse that they think they are hungry, but they are actually not hungry. It's just a wanting to eat. Adults who have always been in the habit of eating 3 meals a day or eating late suppers usually rise in the morning with a little appetite for breakfast. If you rise in the morning and you don't feel like eating breakfast, then you knew you ate too late at night. Last time I used to leave, an apartment, and sometimes I don't feel like eating breakfast, but I still eat. If I don't eat breakfast, then I cannot talk. I'm just kidding. I don't feel like so hungry. Maybe I'm eating too late at night. Now, so the mouth has a bad taste eating too late at night, and they do not feel well as well as after having been up a few hours. They don't feel good because they ate too late at night. This is because they fell asleep with undigested food in their stomachs, and a part of the organs had to remain awake to digest this food. Consequently, the sleep was not as refreshing as it would have been had all the organs rested and slept together. Now, all the organs should rest and sleep together. Not one person sleeping and one person is still working. That's not fair, guys. Let's talk about the kinds of food. Each species of animal is just adapted to subsist on certain kinds of food. Same with people. Okay, let's read what they say. Various as are the species belong to the animal kingdom, they all derive their food either directly or indirectly. So, okay. We should eat. Look here, what does it say later on? Flesh meat is not as good food for men as are vegetable substances. Why? It contains no nutrient property that is not to be obtained from vegetable substances. That's why no meat. You shouldn't be eating meat because when you eat meat, it is not good for your stomach because it has little nutrients. Okay. Fats and oils. Their substances should never be made use of as food. Fats and oils, For they do not contain the proper elements to build up the vital tissues. All our food contains more or less saccharine matters as starch and sugar. What has fats? Avocados, nuts. Okay. So I think we'll have to stop right here. If we want to continue more, get the book because it's kind of late already. So, Sister Rachel, are you going to play the music for today? I will just... Give me a minute here. Okay, oh, how I love Jesus. Sister Rachel, you can start now. Oh, how I love So Rachel, you can start. So Rachel, you may start now. I'm ready.
Alright, thank you, Sister Rachel, for playing. Let's just kneel and say a word of prayer. Let's pray, everyone. Our Father, which art in heaven, thank you so much that you bless us with the time to come together to worship you. Please help us to always follow the books that you have asked the pioneers to write. In Jesus' name, amen. Alright, everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and click the like. Alright, everybody, we will see you again next week. Sorry. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell notification and click the like button. God bless you. Happy Sabbath and have a great day.